Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bideo. It's the 24th of April, 2019, and I made a boo-boo. But before we get to the mistakes that I made, Dan, how are you doing? How's it going?
It's been an interesting week. We've had a car on fire at work. We've had servers not work when I start things up. And, just awful things like they don't sell chicken tenders at Wendy's anymore. It's not been a great week. But I did start my home buying process, so that's cool.
That is cool. That's, it's also a little view into the pre-show banter, because I already heard all that before. But Nick, how are you doing?
I am also doing pretty good. Work has been kind of busy. I am also in the home buying process, but I haven't had much luck finding good stuff or like having good stuff come up on the market. Other than that, I bought a couple things, but maybe we'll get to that later.
All right. Steve, as healthy as ever, how are you doing?
No, I'm not as healthy as ever. I'm sick for sure, so everyone gets to hear my scraggly voice on this episode of the video. But other than that, I'm good. I'm at the tail end of my home buying journey in that I have a home and I'm paying for it. Seems to be what we're chatting about today. Other than that,
You just feel like you want to be included, Steve.
that's true. That is how I feel. Other than that, not a whole lot. Just playing games and being sick for like the last 2 weeks. So I'm ready for it to be done.
Dude,
You definitely
bummer.
sound more subdued.
I'll try to build the hype up, but if I get too excited, I start getting a tickle in my chest, and like my coughing fits have been rough, and so I don't want to just like go mysteriously silent for 3 minutes as I try not to collapse into a heap on my floor.
Hype.
Coughing hype.
I am not buying a house. I am actually homeless and recording this from a nearby Hardee's. But
It's true. And out of the kindness of my heart, when I buy a home, I'll take him in. So you can record from my basement.
I'll have a place to sleep. It will be very nice. But let's start actually doing podcast stuff. So many of you have probably noticed, all three of you listening out there, that this is a weirdly timed podcast, and we had some technical difficulties in which I was a fool and did not prepare properly. I got a new headset, and that changed all sorts of audio settings, and some people didn't show up in the podcast, and it was a bummer. And by some people, I mean the other three of you guys.
I would like for you to someday release the podcast of just your audio. Like long gaps of silence and occasionally you being like, yeah, that one is really good.
Do we get a blooper reel?
Dude, that would be sick.
That you can make that a stretch goal.
I could. Subscribe to our Patreon for that one really long episode where I talk to nobody.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so the topic was deep cuts from games, music that you wouldn't necessarily think of when somebody mentions video game music, like Persona or Legend of Zelda, or, I don't know, I guess rhythm games, like popular rhythm games, I don't know, stuff like that. Pokemon. So we had a list of like 4 or 5 games each, and we listened to them and we talked about them, and none of it came up. So I'm just gonna go over them kind of quickly to let you know what we came up with. We are doing this again, by the way, this week, and I made sure everything's right and this is recording properly, and you'll be able to actually hear everybody and the music that they link. So here's the list. Mega Man X6, Commander Yamark theme. That was pretty good. Silent Hill 3, You're Not Here. Nick, was this like the opening intro?
It was.
All right. Xenogears, is that Flight?
Yeah.
All right, Flight. Eco Heal, which is bench music, when you get to sit on the bench and save the game and such. Goof Troop for the SNES. The Caves, Stage 4. Earthbound, Winters. So Earthbound is, I don't know if it's known for music, but that's definitely not the song you think of when you think about Earthbound music. Radiant Historia, Blue Radiance. Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, The Windmill Song. Kendo Rage, The Pond. Grand Theft Auto 3, the main theme. Fate Grand Order, Grand Battle theme. Oh No, Riding the Ecstasy. XTC, sorry. Not drugs at all. Citus 2 with Deadly Slot Game. And I think that's 100 million. Dungeon Theme 2.
10 million.
10 million? Okay. Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. The Empty Tome. Return of the Obra Dinn, the credits theme. Harvest Moon 64, the fall theme. Suikoden 3 intro. Musha, Full Metal Fighter. And then, I don't think this last one actually happened on the last one, did it?
No, and I think actually Nick might have that last
Nick,
one.
Yeah, I think he does.
On this round, so don't mention it.
Good foresight on my part. So, do you guys want to talk about games, or you want to talk about these songs? That we got new songs, the new songs.
I just have one small thing to talk about for games, since I didn't get to play a whole lot this week, but it's very exciting news. Well, to me anyway.
Dude, news it up.
So, in Dragalia Lost, the Nintendo mobile game, the gacha pull, you can pull, since launch, you can pull an adventurer. The characters you use, you can only pull one of each. And then you get like a special currency if you pull a duplicate. You can get dragons, which are like an accessory or a summon that you can equip to people. And you can get worm prints, which are also like equipment. Worm prints had the highest pull rate. And a lot of people didn't like that because it was so random that you could get utter garbage in just those worm prints. Some of them are very good, most of them are not. So like a week ago, I want to say, it was shortly after our last podcast, they put out an announcement saying, hey, due to feedback, we're going to take all the worm prints out of the gacha, only having the adventurers and the dragons in the gacha. They're also doubling the rates for those rare units. And they're putting all those equipment things in like a special shop that you use that special currency for. And they said, oh, by the way, we're also effectively tripling how much you get from pulling duplicate adventurers. And if you've ever pulled a duplicate adventurer, we're retroactively giving you all of that stuff that you've ever pulled or that you would have gotten from pulling duplicates for the entire time you've been playing. And then on top of that, this week they announced, oh, also we're reducing the cost of doing a full 10 pull by 1/5. So from 1,500 to 1,200. And just all these crazy things that nobody ever would have expected to come from that company. And they're just like, yeah, we just felt like it, so we're just going to do that. And that's
so
dropping
it's not like a
tomorrow.
business decision or anything? They just were like, yeah, we can do this. They're not like pressed for it.
No, I mean, they got feedback from people, and I don't know where nobody knows where the cost reduction came from. Just the original thing was from feedback. And then they just said, oh, we're just going to do it. We're going to make things cheaper for everybody. I think it's just doing so well that they're going to rely more on people buying less more often, you know?
Yeah. Not paying the $99, but paying a lot of the $10.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's easier for some people to fall prey to that, I guess. But at the same time, it's also easier for one to say, oh yeah, I've played this game for 3 months. I'll give it $10 and then move on.
That's generally how I handle stuff like that. That's how I did Brave Exvius.
Yeah, and that one had a crazy update too. They dropped an exclusive unit for Easter, 2 exclusive Easter units. If you probably don't remember some of the bosses, but the Omega weapon was a boss in there that was probably the hardest boss in the game for a while, because he's only weak to electricity. He has 90 million HP, all this crazy stuff. And that unit, the new unit that just came out, can kill that boss in 2 turns by itself.
Dude, that's busted.
Yeah. And they nerfed it. They nerfed that unit before it even came out. Like, people had data mined the stats for the unit and then said, oh, this is going to be crazy. But actually, what the hell? This is insane. And so they nerfed the unit, and right before launch, it released, and it's still super busted. Like, there's a new story guy coming out in like a month or something that everyone's been waiting for, because they're like, yeah, that's the next big step in DPS that you got to pull for that unit. And this unit came out, and she does 150% more damage than that unit does. It's just bonkers.
Dude, what is with mobile games? Making it easy for the everyman.
I know, it's great. I love it. So that was my exciting news in the world of gacha game. Oh, and the Fate CCC event started yesterday. And that's CCC is a game we never got. Like, it's in a continuation of the one PSP game we got, that I think there were like 3 or 4 of them, but they never got translated.
All right. Is that our mobile minute?
That's your mobile 5 minutes.
All right. Also, before we move on to the songs, my Twitch account got hacked, and I'm waiting to get that recovered.
Oh, no!
I know. So I'm going to wait for them to email me and then activate
You're just too famous.
I'm a big-time streamer over here. Streamer/podcaster, famous Nordz.
You're regularly pulling down a group of users.
I would say handfuls, or handful.
Oh yeah, I've seen you stream into double digits with confidence.
Oh yeah, I'm big man. You guys, you want to talk about the songies?
The ones that we picked for this round.
Yeah. So let me talk. Last week, it was last week, we did like a round robin of everyone pick a song, and we listened to it, and we just kind of talk about it. And I think we're gonna do that for this one too. Same format.
I'm for it. And yeah, I don't have any exciting games that I played. I played a lot of Crosscode. That's what I did.
I played Apex. That's about it.
I want to play that with you soon.
Dude, I'm about to take a big break.
You burnt out on it?
Yeah, like a lot.
Maybe I'll play it with Joade then. I've been in the mood lately, but man, not to like pull us too far away from listening to these tunes, but when you're in the mood to play Apex and you log in and you play by yourself, it is not nearly as much fun. Like, it does not scratch that same itch. I can only do so many rounds of like logging in, and then in half the games someone drifts off and does something on their own before I'm just like, I'll just wait till I have a party of friends.
It's hard even with just 2 people, because then that third person is like, he's either your champion or he's like the dead weight you have to carry throughout the match.
Yeah. But if you're burnt out, I'll find other people to play with. Nick, you can play with me. You and I'll play some Apex.
Wow.
Do you play Apex, Dave?
No.
I like the idea of you playing Apex strikes me as odd.
Yeah, our schedules probably line up a little better too.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a plan. Okay, that's all. And I don't think Nick had any chance to say what he's been gaming on. if he wants to try to squeeze it in.
Yeah, in the video that never will be, I said I was playing a bunch of Breath of the Wild, and that's been continuing. Although I did get a couple new Switch games. I picked up Sonic Mania Plus, and I played a little bit of that, but I'm really bad at Sonic games because I never played them as a kid, so I'll have to play more of that and get better. I picked up the Final Fantasy X-2 remaster, and I did play a little of that just to like see what it was like. And
does that one have the updated monster textures that the PS4 version had, or is it the PS3?
I'm not positive.
Because it was a significant difference, I remember, because I had the PS3 one and I got the PS4 one late, and it was pretty noticeable. Mostly on like the birds, like the feathery bird, stuff that you'd see in.
Oh,
I agree, cat.
Meow.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that because that'd be interesting. Because the Switch definitely doesn't have the juice that those other ones do.
I mean, it might still be able to handle an upscaled PS2 game. So
True.
I was just curious. I think the main draw was the soundtrack. I think, or maybe the Japanese voiceover. I'd have to look up the other differences.
Yeah, one of the options, you get two options like when you start the game that I had to look up, and one was you get a different sphere grid style that you can use. Mm-hmm. It's like an expert grid.
Yeah, that was in the international edition that came after our the original one.
That seemed interesting because you it doesn't really guide you down a path for each character necessarily, so you can you can
start
make Tidus a black mage,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be trying that. And then the third game I got was Diablo 3 on the Switch, and I played a bunch of that last night because it comes with all the DLC and stuff. So I was playing the Necromancer, and so far that's been really fun. It controls really well, so I don't know. It's just that's kind of a fun mindless game to run around, kill things.
Yeah, and from what I understand, the console version's very different than the PC version because it takes into account that you're on a console, basically.
Yeah, it's got a lot of you don't have to click on items, you just kind of run into stuff and it picks it up for you.
Yeah, that would help a lot.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
All right,
we can get into the tunes.
Before we start, again, another thing to start before we start. Blazing Chrome says its release on March 29th, 2019. It's still not out, it's still in development, and I'm upset.
Oh no.
I googled it today to see where it was, and it says it's released on Google, but on their webpage it's still in development. It's not ready yet. I just want to play that game. All right, we can talk about music.
I'm for it.
Well, you're starting us.
I'm first up. All right, grab my first track here. So we've got another. This is a very upbeat, catchy shoot 'em up song, just like Musha from the last episode. And this is the Stage 1 Asteroid Field theme from Glay Lancer. So give it a listen, and I have a fun fact when you're done.
It's pretty catchy. And I think in Japan it's called Grey Rancer.
Okay.
Hype! Alright, Steve shut himself off. He's dying.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back from my coughing fit. So, cool thing about Glay Lancer, it is... I haven't actually played it, but I've watched some videos of it, and it seems like a pretty good shoot 'em up. It was Japanese exclusive on the Mega Drive, and was pretty pricey. And out of nowhere, that company just recently announced that they're reprinting that Mega Drive game in 2019. Like, they're making a new print run of it with a new cover art that features like some anime characters on it, but it's the same game and it's literally being reprinted for the Mega Drive. So I ordered the reprint, and I will get a copy of Glay Lancer in the mail at some point.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was excited to see it. I was like, this is just awesome, because it's a game that you see a lot of like reproductions made because people want to play it, but they don't want to pay like the hundreds of dollars that it goes for. So to get like an actual Mega Drive copy from the company for like $40 or whatever it was, I was like, heck yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at screenshots, it looks a lot like our UN squad.
Yeah, it might even be the same, some of the same developers or something. I'm not too sure.
All right. So 2 of my songs were menu themes, but I ended up changing them. Steve, you might maybe know this one.
TBD?
It is.
Oh, I do.
The Cyrus Village theme for daytime. So in Jade Cocoon, this is the main theme for the village that you are in. And if you've never played Jade Cocoon, you're essentially like a very tribal Pokemon catcher / monster breeder. And you catch things in cocoons and merge them together. And so this is the theme of the main town, and it just seems very tribal. And the village, I believe, is also somewhat cursed, so this is also a very somber tune.
I like this one.
Yeah, I had the menu theme, but this one just felt more iconic in my head. Nick, do you have a song for us?
I do. This was one that I had contemplating using before. Let me paste it in here. And so this is like a song from Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. And I know we like trying to avoid Final Fantasies, but this is definitely not like a mainline entry. But this song just like has that like rising to meet the challenge feel to it. Like, you're just gonna get braver just by listening to it, and you want to like fight evil. And I haven't even played this game, but it makes me want to. It's quite delicious.
I can feel my courage swelling up.
Same. Makes me glad that this game is on the list, because this is going to be good.
Yeah, it was a good one. I remember I played it so much I finished every single side mission except for one because I couldn't figure out how to get it to. And there was like 300 or 400 of them, I think. And it was completely unnecessary. It did nothing for me, but I did it.
It feels like it has that very Ivalice tone that 12 and Tactics had.
I mean, it does take place in Ivalice, so...
Yeah, but I think it's weird that they have a sound in my head that is canon. Alright, Dan, you got anything for us?
Yeah, I got a good one. I had to dust this one off. It seems to be the one I found is like a remix of it. The title theme from Space Quest. I remember sitting down and playing this game, all of them actually, with my dad growing up. So this one always stuck out to me because it's the glorious tale of a janitor that just gets pulled into all sorts of ridiculous situations, and he's just trying to survive. He doesn't have any special powers or anything, but he's just a janitor.
Is he a janitor in every single one of them?
Yeah. He just ends up working at different space stations and stuff in every single.
This is definitely a deep cut.
It feels like mostly a space theme with a little bit of parody in there, so it fits the theme of the game well.
Yeah, his name is Roger Wilco, the janitor extraordinaire.
All right, Steve, you have another one?
I do. You know I do. So this is one of the best songs on any NES or Famicom game. It is Happy Birthday from Gimmick. And for anyone that has never seen Gimmick before, it makes for very cool speedruns, and it is a very cool platformer. But it also just so happens to have really good music, too. So... like, it's insane to me that this is on the NES.
It has, like, that Anamanaguchi sound.
It sounds like modern, like, bands or artists recreating the NES sound, but it actually was on the Famicom.
Dude, it has a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm. And like some bassline type sounds that you don't normally hear on the NES. It might have had some special hardware in the cart to help boost, like add extra audio channels and stuff. But even still, it is so good.
Alright, so in the episode that will never be, I picked a Goof Troop song, and I decided to pick another Goof Troop song. I believe this is the stage right afterward. I think this is you approaching a pirate fortress. I don't remember the stage. I just remember
I think it was a pirate
the song.
ship.
Yeah, it might be, yeah.
I remember having a lot of trouble with one of the sliding block puzzles in that that pirate.
Yeah, this is another good song from Goof Troop, so get ready for this, Steve.
I am looking forward to playing this with you. It is going to be fun.
And something that was brought up the last time we did the Goof Troop music is it seems like it's got an actual, like, composer behind it that isn't just sloppy bad. It seems like it's a well put together thing. I'm excellent with words.
So, the Final Fantasy Distant Worlds tour, the composer, or, conductor is Arnie Roth. And I looked him up at one point and, what work he's done in the past. And he's done a lot of, different stuff. But I noticed he did a lot of, music for, Barbie movies and stuff. So
Oh,
I thought that was interesting. But, he's good, and those movies probably have really good music.
Hey, everyone has to make their money somehow.
I thought you were going to tell me he made the Goof Troop soundtrack, and I'd be like, oh, that makes so much sense! Alright, Nick, what's next?
Alright, so on the last one, I had included a song from a mobile game that's a match 3 called 10 Million. And that developer created a follow-up game called You Must Build a Boat. And so I have included the song from that, and it is called Flea and Ozzy.
I mean, is this of relation to Chrono Trigger?
I assume it's just a nod.
Okay.
or
Oh,
the musicians.
this one's good.
Dude, Nick with the mobile game song list. They have been bangers.
Hey, I had one too.
I don't remember yours as much.
It was the Fate song, right? That was also...
Yeah.
That wasn't like a banger, that was more of like a hyper.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, this one's good.
Alright, Dan, what else you got?
Well, sticking with the Super Nintendo Disney games, one that I played a lot growing up, but I never owned until a couple of years ago. My mom would run out and rent the Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, and I remember spending a lot of time in the Dark Forest, because that area took me a long time to get through as a kid. So the stage music for that really stuck out to me when we've been talking about this stuff.
Dude, Disney game soundtracks for the SNES have only been hit so far.
I know, right?
No miss.
I'm liking it.
Dude, I'm hearing Super Mario RPG noises.
I wouldn't be surprised if they mixed some other stuff in there. But
Alright, Steve, next up.
Alright. What do I got next? Okay, so this one's a little more obvious, I think. I mean, I didn't pick any Final Fantasies or Pokemons or anything, but this one might be a little more popular. But it is just so catchy, and I find myself singing it so often that I couldn't not pick it. And it is the remix of Moon River that plays during the battles of Bayonetta 2.
Bayonetta definitely has good music.
Yeah, and it fits the combat so well, which is so surprising. I think most people typically go with the Fly Me to the Moon remix from Bayonetta 1, which is also very good.
Yeah,
but I
that's
thought
the
that
one
if I was
I
going
would
to
pick.
if I was going to try to like be in the spirit of more obscure, I guess this one is ever so slightly more obscure. And also still very good, so I picked it.
Alright, so we had a gamer weekend like a while ago, a few gamer weekends ago this happened, where I played a game that I think was Japanese only, and this is the boss theme.
from Mystery Game.
From Alcahest.
Ooh, I like this.
I was waiting until it was actually playing.
Man, I gotta go remember to double check if this game is on my wish list still, because this game was so good.
I had no, like, expectations, and it just turned out I sat down and just played the game through.
Oh, it was so good.
This was also for the Super Nintendo.
The name sounded familiar, but yeah, I don't remember seeing.
Alright, Nick, this song is super short. What do you got?
Oh, geez. Alright, I have a title from a game that was crazy popular. And the song is probably one you've heard a bunch.
This
Well,
is
it's one of my favorites.
This is the opposite of what this was supposed to be.
So this is a song from World of Warcraft.
Oh man.
And it is Totems of the Grizzlemon
Oh boy.
from Wrath of the Lich King. And so this is one of the theme songs of one of the zones.
Oh,
But
Grizzly Hills.
Yep, of the Grizzly Hills.
Good old
And
zone.
I always thought it was like really relaxing and just enjoyable to like run around in.
So you had to fight that
And
bear
this-
at the end.
Yeah, and this expansion I thought in particular had like just really good music all around.
I would agree with that.
I'm going to mention now that I now have 6 songs.
Oh, so you throwing a WoW song?
Not quite. This is definitely a deep cut, I would say. Because, like, when I play and played WoW, I never really put much thought into the actual soundtrack.
You know,
It was good, man.
the quality of the soundtrack gets lost in those games a lot, I think, because there's so many sound effects constantly playing. Because, like, the world is so living that there's always, like, the crunching of your footsteps and animal noises and combat noises and everything else. So you never just, like, hear the song playing uninterrupted like that.
I definitely after a while I adjusted my music to be much higher than some of the in-games
That's
so that I
smart.
could actually hear it. I did the same thing in Final Fantasy actually, in 14.
I will not be surprised if Noah pulls the 14 track out, even though it's Final Fantasy.
I specifically hadn't been, because honestly most of them are just remixes of old stuff, but it does have a lot of good original.
I just want to like point out that around 2 minutes into this one too, the like intro music kind of stops.
And the
And I don't
actual
know-
zone music starts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what instrument that is. Is it like a violin, some sort of string?
It's a string instrument of some sort, yeah. I'd say violin, but what do I know?
Okay, Dan, do you have any non-MMO music to throw at us?
Let's see. I have a couple here. Here's one from my favorite Tales game, which would be Tales of Destiny. It's from the later part of the game when eventually a bunch of cities end up in the sky, and they all kind of got tiresome after a while getting through them, but the theme music in all of them was very good, which helped me get through some of the puzzles that were in all those dungeons. Aptly titled Aerial City.
Dude, this is a city in the sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
catchy. You know, there are a lot of games in like the Super Nintendo to PS1 era that use the underlying like I wonder why that's such a common like
Probably just because it was
sequence.
easy to make. And
yeah, maybe.
recreate on systems without using up a whole lot of
Just change the key a little bit.
Yeah.
It's starting to get hot in here. Like, I closed my window so we wouldn't hear birds.
I'm so excited that we can hear birds again.
I am not.
Chirp, chirp.
Everything except birds is fine by me.
Oh, let me get Iggy in here.
Alright, Steve, what's next?
Next up, it would be an absolute crying shame if we went 2 episodes of Bideo tunes and did not include a Nier song. So I picked Hills of Radiant Wind from Nier, which is from the first Nier game on PS3 and 360. And this is like kind of the first like song that knocked me off my feet when I played that game for the first time. I went into it like completely blind, and when I heard this song I was like, oh wow, there's like gonna be more to this game than I originally expected.
I still need to play that one. Obviously I played Automata, but I have not played original.
I like the original
it
more, but it might, that's mostly because I'm nostalgic for the original one. They do so much good like vocal work in all of the songs for these games, and I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that it's like a made-up language.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, this one is so good.
Yeah, man. This soundtrack is so good. It's one of very few soundtracks that I actually purchased the physical soundtrack to listen to it in my car. This whole soundtrack is this good. Like, you should play this game or at least listen to this soundtrack.
Yeah, I still need to get the Automata soundtrack. I've been lazy about finding.
Alright, do I do my MMO song or do I wait for later?
Nah, do your MMO one, because you obviously had sort of built an order in your head, and you don't want to kill the climax by throwing in your last second thought.
Alright, so this song is called... Let me get it, 1 second. Ashford Abbey from the original Guild Wars. And this is from pre-searing, which is before the burning / downfall of your country / kingdom. It's very wildernessy. And when you go outside Ashford Abbey, it's very country and waterfall and river and plain striders and such.
I want to say almost anything you could have picked from Guild Wars. It's going to be a deep cut.
It is.
It's popular, but
True.
this is good though.
Alright, Nick, what do you got?
All right, mine is from an N64 game, and it is the credits theme, which is like kind of, I think, a remix of some of the other music from the game, but it's from Perfect Dark.
Oh man, this is a choice right here. Ooh.
This sounds like the ending credits to a movie, like an action movie with a big cliffhanger.
I mean, it was essentially like a spy
Unless they didn't
thriller
yeah.
action movie that you played. This just makes me think of Elvis in his like American flag shirt.
Yeah.
Shout out to Big Boss 643 for this deep cut.
What a guy. I'm glad he hosted it.
Alright, Dan, do you have any more?
I got another mobile game one. That's from the same mobile game as last time. Another Fate Grand Order one. This one is a Halloween battle theme that is a remix of a character theme from one of the games we never got. But it was super catchy, and I actually listen to it kind of regularly. And this particular event too was all the Halloween events are throwbacks to like old video, and this one happened to be a throwback to Ghouls and Goblins. So like as you worked through it, you worked across like a 2-bit map as you got through all the different stages, and once you got to the end, to the castle, they reset you and send you back to the beginning. You have to go through all of it again.
I remember you talking about that.
Dude, I can't not tap my foot to this song.
I know. It's so catchy.
All right, Steve. You got give me your longest one that you have remaining.
I only have one remaining.
Okay.
This is it. And it is the theme that plays while you explore Neo Kobe City in Snatcher.
You could have bought the soundtrack.
That's true. It's a very catchy song, and when the horns come in, it's so good. It's so like cyberpunky crime thriller. It's too good.
Dude, good deep cut.
This is a really good game. You should play this.
Alright, I have two more, but I'm going to end on the best note. Alright, so we were talking about Mega Man Legends, and I decided to go with, like, there were a few good ones, but I went with this one. This is the ship theme, like on the flutter whenever you're... It's like your home base, sort of. Where you'll see Roll and Data. Brought to you by Classic Tyler.
Classic Tyler.
Nick, what else you got?
I've got another N64, or from another N64 title. This one is called On Guard from Donkey Kong 64.
My man.
And so this is the music that plays when you, bust that barrel and you're playing as the swordfish guy.
You don't need to tell me. I know what's happening here.
I have not heard this song in a long time. At first, I would have said Donkey Kong 64 is like Donkey Kong is not a deep track because the Donkey Kong Country games are so popular for their soundtracks, but this is a deep track.
And in this whole game, I think you only ride him like maybe twice. The only one I can remember is in Gloomy Galleon.
Nick, you're really good at picking games that are popular and then picking like the crazy side songs that are actually really good.
An inspired choice for sure.
Alright, Dan, do you have a final song?
I do. And it's from another Super Nintendo game. This one is one that I picked up on when the video store nearby shut down. And it happened to be really fun. And even though I'd never heard of it before, somehow, because it is from Mad Cats, or SWAT Cats, and the theme is Mad Cat, which is the second stage.
I remember playing this game at your house. It was fun.
Dude, I remember you guys laughing at me while playing this at your house.
Yeah, we did. It's kind of a hard game.
Are you aware that this game is really expensive too?
Yeah, I had no idea, and then I'm like, oh well, mine's got video update stickers all over. And
I
unfortunately,
remember after
no
playing at your
box.
house, I went to buy it, and I was like, oh.
What a good one to end on.
You're
So
welcome.
true.
Does anybody else have any other song?
Not for this episode, no.
I think I'm tapped out as well.
Yeah, I think I'm all set for now.
Good, because I definitely want to end this on mine.
Wow. Selfish.
I know, I'm very selfish. This game is known, but I don't know if it's really known for its music. Like, you guys will have to tell me. It is also the best menu theme in any video game.
Ah, dude.
Yeah, I think this qualifies as a deep track.
So this is Legend of Dragoon, the menu theme. I would say...
I remember that menu taking longer to open because it had to load that music.
Oh, it's worth it.
It is.
I would put this up there with, like, Another World, almost, from Chrono Cross.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this probably is the best menu theme.
When
Legend
he
of
said
Dragoon
that,
drastically needs to replay.
that's immediately what went into my head. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, because it's been about 2 years since the last time I do it with a different party every time to kind of mix things up.
This is 18 minutes long, and I plan on running it till the very end of this podcast.
Yes.
This is a good relaxing one to say our goodbyes to.
Yeah, this is definitely like when they list like, oh, the best like sleep, an hour long of sleep music from video games. This is on there. This is in there.
As it should be.
All right, so last week with the episode that shall never be, we decided on nostalgic Super Nintendo. What was this, Steve? Something about Super Nintendo?
I think it was sort of like a personal retrospective on the Super Nintendo. So, an episode themed around the Super Nintendo, not so much like the history of the Super Nintendo, but our personal histories with it. So, when we remember first playing it, what some of our favorite games are on it, how we felt about it at the time, how we feel about it now. Sort of just like a cohesive overall thought of the Bideo's individual members on the Super Nintendo.
That seems really good. I have a lot of opinions and thoughts on such a matter.
Yeah, I'll have to like think on it and jot down some notes for that one because it's a big topic.
God, what a funky beat.
True.
That game has a great soundtrack in general. I was gonna pick something off of it, but I figured, maybe it wasn't very deep. But this one is.
That's what I was like really nervous about because like I don't know if this game is known for its music at all.
It definitely has some good ones. I almost picked Dart's theme. But yeah, I wasn't sure if that would really qualify.
Alright, do we have any closing thoughts this video?
Thank you so much for continuing to listen to our humble show. Also, we identified the email address for the podcast, yes?
I think you identified it, so yes?
Yes. So, obviously you can go to bideo.com, but if you want to send us in any questions or thoughts, especially any questions you would like us to answer on the show. You could email us at thebideopodcast@gmail.com. Obviously, that is Bideo with a B. thebideopodcast@gmail.com.
One more time. Get it ingrained.
thebideopodcast@gmail.com.
Perfect. And we have access to this one, so we will be able to answer your emails, questions, suggestions, comments, compliments, and the like. So make sure to send us one. Like, it would be cool to have listener interaction. Nick, do you have any closing thoughts?
No, if we can get some activity, that'd be awesome. Or any suggestions on that, or even the site. So,
I think you got some suggestions on the site.
yeah, I did have a webmaster or like a person try to solicit some services, but yeah.
Nah, dude, do it yourself. Make it from the heart.
I will. It's been fun to tinker with. So,
Dan, any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Perfect. So, I would like to thank everybody for putting up with this weird scheduling thing. If you are new and are listening on Spotify, this is a thing that happens. I'm really bad at uploading stuff and scheduling and editing and all that. Because, I don't know, I'm a busy man with busy thoughts, busy ideas, busy work life, busy home life, family life, video game life. I'm very busy, and I am sorry that this took so long to go up. I will try my best to put them up. I would probably say Fridays at some point. Something that is very easy for me to do.
Not to put you on the spot, but will people be able to listen to the other...
The what?
The other interview?
Yeah. I'm probably just going to put these up together. I was going to do it earlier, but it's been a busy week at work. The government has come to watch me do my work, and it's been very stressful.
Interesting.
Gotta inspect those cakes.
Yeah, they gotta make sure I'm washing my hands and not putting my hands in food directly. But yeah, the people have been watching me, and it's been really stressful, but that's not how I want to end this podcast. So I'd like to see you all. We're going to do this next week. Even though we do it bi-weekly, we're going to have to do a lot of fixing and working, and next week we will do a podcast in regards to that Super Nintendo topic. Just our overall opinions. So, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.
Farewell.